this week, there's someone who came to my video, one of my videos, and he wrote, chemotherapy kills. I'm like, why are these people like this? Why are these people discouraging people like this? So even if it killed, even if it killed, and there is either cancer kills you or chemotherapy kills you. So we say, okay, if cancer is the one to kill you, it will kill you after 3 years. But if chemotherapy is the one to kill you, maybe it will kill you after 7. Which death are you choosing? Me, I will choose the after 7 years. Because if it is the one killing me, at least it is prolonging my life to be with my loved ones. I will not choose the one that takes it early. So sometimes, let's just use common sense. Don't let people lie to you when you've been diagnosed and the doctor has proposed chemotherapy. The only important thing to look at is, what are you eating, especially at that time of chemo? Yeah. Because you need, like I said, when chemo is coming, it is targeting the cancer, and it is also going to target the fast growing good cells, which include the nails, which includes the hair, and it includes parts of the colon. It will be targeting there. And one thing, if you're listening to me and going through chemo right now, you need to, even if you can't hold food, if you vomit, take good protein powder, mix it, drink sometimes in the night. You don't want to leave your stomach empty when you're on chemo, because it will just go eat up as it goes. It is a chemical, it's something dangerous. However, it is coming to target, it's coming for work. So you have to help your body to recover quickly from it. What kills people most of the time, especially people who are diagnosed early, is the lack of knowledge. It's the lack of funds. It's poverty. Because you may want to eat that healthy food that helps the body to regrow, helps the good cells to regrow, but you don't have that money. You don't have that food. And that is why, if you have a neighbor who is going through chemotherapy and you see they're struggling, one day just wake up. Just go and buy some vegetable for them, some dengu, some lentils, and take to them. Guys, we were not born islands. Don't be someone who just prays for people with no action. The good Samaritan who saw somebody was beaten by the road, he did not go and say, "Oh Jehovah, this man has been beaten. Oh my Father, he has been beaten by robbers. May you come and deal with the robbers in Jesus' name." And then he walks and leaves the person lying down there. You're not Christ-like. You're not Christian. You're not even a good Muslim. You're not a good Buddhist. You're not a good anything. A good human should be humane.
Emmanuel's headache were recurring. Yeah, like I can say, it started before diagnosis, then now it persisted after the loss of sight. That now I had an idea because I was told the tumor was suppressing. So that's why he was having the frequent headaches and the vomiting, And that's why he could not see.
Okay. After accepting it, how do you feel as a parent? Yeah, it's taken you a long time, to come to this. How do you feel? That's a good question.
After accepting the diagnosis, or after accepting the death,
Fatu, after accepting what? Can you answer both? Accepting the diagnosis, did you accept it? And accepting death, and tell us, did you receive any counseling? Yeah.
Well, yeah, counseling I did receive. But I did not also want to get counseling at the same time. I was in denial state, like my son cannot have cancer. It was a lot. I was in a state of denial of my son having cancer, because I was like, it was just 5 years. It was still young. He was 3 when he was diagnosed. So he battled for 2 years. He was saying he was still young. This is not my son. Those are not my son's report. They had to repeat again. They had to convince me until I come into terms. But the only thing I told them, you guys are free to treat Emmanuel with all the chemos you want, all the radiology that you need. But please, the news that you should not tell me is that, Mama Emmanuel, we really tried our best and we are really sorry for your loss. That was the only thing I told them. And when that happened, that day when he died, have you ever hoped for a miracle to just happen? I don't think if I've ever come into terms that I can use my son as past tense while I'm talking about him. But this far that I can talk about him and I don't break down, I think I'm kind of getting in terms that he's not here. I'm getting in terms that he was sick, and that was the best way for him to get out of that pain, was for him to rest. Accepting to lose a child, I've never come into terms with that. I've read the Bible, I've tried to look for all the verses, because when a child loses their parents, they are called orphan. When a husband loses the wife, he's being given a name as a widower. When a wife loses a husband, they call her widow. What name do you give to a mother who has lost a child?
No name.
Just what name?
No name.
It's something that I've never come in terms with, but the more I see this, I try to view it in a positive angle, because I ask myself one day, was I happy seeing him in that bed on coma, not responding, in pain, not eating, on catheter? Was that the child I wanted to see? Then I find myself telling, no, I wanted my son who was healthy, who was okay, who could tell me, Mom, I need this, Mom, I need this. I never wanted my son who was sick, who was in pain, who you could never sleep, because you cannot even close your eyes, because I was scared. What if I sleep, then he dies? Especially when I was told I only have 2 months. Now I think my fear was not even about the cancer, was sleeping every day, waking up. You are scared. Will today evening reach when we are the 2 of us? Will I wake up tomorrow with him beside me, or I'll just wake up alone? Then when 14th of July happened, 14th of July really hit this girl that you see talking to you so hard. That day that Emmanuel died, I asked God, is it my sins that are so many that I had to go through all those years? Then he ended up dying. Or were you lack of angels up there? Maybe heaven was shortage of angels because my son was my champion. My son was my everything. You know, he was never even once left my side. He was always there with me. Even if The storm was tough. My son was there with me. You see those unnecessary noise. You see one thing, Diana, that happened recently. We went at my friend's place. The child was sleeping. Then they told us, please don't make noise. My child will wake up. You know what I told them? How I wish you guys could just come and make that noise at my son's grave so that at least he can wake up. Because maybe to her the noise will wake up the child, but to me, I need that noise for my son to wake up. I don't know if I tried, if I give him the best, but I hate being poor. I hate being poor. I would not even wish anybody to be poor. Being poor should be a criminal. Yani, it should be an offense. It should be an offensive to be poor. I hate being poor. I don't have what it takes to be rich, but I don't wish anybody to be poor. Being poor, you cannot say anything. You cannot be heard. Because what will you say that people will listen to? Nothing. Especially in this journey of cancer. Oh, it is not easy. So Chief asked, what uniqueness did you find about cancer in kids or let me say rather to all that suffer cancer? You know, for kids, it's not like us. Because tell you what, if I was the one who was diagnosed with cancer, if I was the one, 2 months was only enough for me, then I think I could have been the late. My son handled it well. You know, for kids, as long as they are not in pain, they are eating well, you are taking care of them, the cancer is on you, the burden is not on them. You just feel sorry, my son is sick, my child is sick, my son has cancer, but to them, when they get that little energy, they're just good to go, they're just playing, plus the environment that they were in. For my son, maybe for my son, because he was blind, then he was just threw out on bed. But for other kids who are okay, on Fridays, those Faraja people could come, they go, they color, they do different activities in Kenyatta. So they feel, they bring home where they are. So for kids, for them to handle cancer, it's easy because it's not in them.
Your point really makes sense completely, because many of them may not even know what they're going through. They don't even know what they're going through. You know, and I will speak from experience from what you just said. For us adults, you know what it is. You know the gravity of it. And every day you live with it. And, you know, yeah, it's different. A child's cancer is on a parent. That is major. That is big. You've said a very big thing today. And there's something you say that if I'm poor, who will listen to me? Guess what? We are going to listen to you. Someone has just said, I read a lot of scripts. They read scripts on my wall. Scripts that you guys are talking about and you're putting for them to listen. Guess what? I want us to script. Linda, I want to give you a chance to write a chapter of this in a book. I want you to be a co-author. And I want you to use you're paying for purpose. I want that next year, when I come to Kenya for the Pain to Purpose conference, I want you to have that book in home by faith. Because you say you're poor and who is listening? Can you imagine we are here listening to you? We are listening. I am listening. And those that want to be part of that book, I know Fatu has to. Come on, I'm going to have you guys on a Zoom. And we're going to meet and we're going to publish the book. And we are going to talk about this nice experience of journey. And it's going to be a book that gives strength, gives power to whoever is reading it. Because we don't want to make people weak. My intention is never to make people turn into, people want to be pitied. But we'd love to make people who know how to gather their inner strength, and make it. Because remember, when I talked the other day about what pity does, especially to people going through cancer, pity and pity parties, they don't help. They don't help. They actually cause a negative effect on people who are going through difficult situations. And it's recommended, instead of throwing someone a pity party, empathize with that person. Empathy is powerful more than pity. Because for empathy, it is going to give you, okay, this is happening or this happened. And I want to do this. I want to help you. I've put myself in your shoes. This is what I want us to do. This is what I want to do to help you.
Yeah, there's another question here.
I want you to share this story. I want you to speak. I need you. We here who are here, we want to encourage you, to give you that strength, to tell you that poor is a journey. Poor is not a moment that you have to stick on. Poor is a moment that you're passing. And all these rich people you see out there, not all of them, some of them have been born in rich families, but some people have journeyed through nothing, have journeyed literally through nothing to somewhere where they could call something. Linda, why am I even saying some people? You know my story. You know my story. And we are never embarrassed by a face in our life. It is a face, my dear. That face will come to an end. I am one person who I've lived without and I've lived with. And I know those two sides of the coin. When I could not sleep, I wake up and I cook even 100 chapatis. And in the night, I'm going to drive Uber. I am driving Uber and hitting trash cans. I'm sleeping. Literally. And I'm going to take care of patients somewhere else. I'm dropping them in hospital. And I'm going to wash people's toilets. In fact, I want to make some advertisements here. I want to start washing some toilets here. Because what is wrong with it? I wash, I get money, it helps me to feed patients. Let me tell you, the moment God discovers that your spirit has no pride, the Lord is going to elevate you because He is an elevator. Because Linda, that silver and gold belongs to Him. That silver and gold belongs to Him. And let me tell you, and I told you that I may poach you. We are going to talk. If you're not poachable, I will go and take someone else somewhere else. Let's talk. Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope your boss is not listening. Oh my God. but I'm very serious about poaching it. And it's something of a surprise, guys. I'll be in Nairobi on 12th. On 12th in the morning, we are going to Kenyatta National Hospital to visit cancer kids, oncology ward for children. So if you want to join me, let me know. Okay, people who are here, just write to me. If you're in Nairobi, we will be going on the 12th of April. We are going to visit cancer children.